Let's go live now to Washington with not our correspondent, Australian newspaper correspondent, Adam Creighton. Great to have you with us, Adam. It was going to be you and Andrew Charlton, but he's in Canberra and he's been called to a division in Parliament. So it's going to be a great panel of you and me. We have a lot to talk about. Don't worry, we will have an exciting conversation, Adam. Look, I want to start right now with the biggest news in the United States. We were expecting to have an answer on whether or not former President Donald Trump was going to be arrested. What is the latest on that situation?
Well, the latest is that, of course, it was supposed to be Tuesday, Washington time or New York time, but that never happened. And so the rumour mill now is that it's more likely to happen on Wednesday, which is Thursday back home, sometime in the afternoon in New York. I think it's kind of reaching the point where there's just been so many leaks from the people in the prosecution department to various newspapers that timing of Wednesday afternoon here is looking increasingly likely. But the president himself, the former president himself, would not actually appear in New York and be fingerprinted and handcuffed, etc., which is what normally happens, until sometime next week, because he's currently in Florida. The former president has said that he'll turn himself in voluntarily. There's not going to be any sort of extradition dispute between the states. That's already been said. But look, there's still some chance it won't happen, but certainly I think about 70% chance in the next few days he will be indicted. And of course, that's the first time any former president in US history has been indicted. So pretty history-making stuff.
No, unprecedented. But he's not the only president, former or current, who's facing scandal. You've written about Biden's own scandals. You know, are these being properly investigated? And, you know, what's the latest on the probe into his family's dealings?
Yeah, look, it's a very good question. The new Congress here, which is now controlled by the Republicans in the House of Representatives, has launched a committee to investigate the Biden family finances. And I think there's certainly a lot of questions there after the emails that emerged from Hunter Biden's laptop. Anyway, last Friday, they made this extraordinary finding. They released to the public that the Biden family had received about half of a $3 million payment from a Chinese company to four members of the Biden family just after Joe Biden left office as vice president back in 2017. Now that's pretty extraordinary stuff. It certainly suggests influence peddling at the very least for this Chinese energy company. But about 12 hours later, the Trump tweet came out. Sorry, the Trump Truth Social statement came out about the potential indictment, and the story has been completely overshadowed ever since. But the chairman of that committee says that there are about 10 others. Yes?
Has the mainstream media in the US, the left-wing media, been properly covering, you know, Biden's own family affairs, or have they gone a bit light on that?
Look, I certainly think not. I mean, I don't know what the exact figure is, but I'd say 80% of the media here is extraordinarily biased in favour of the Democrat Party. And so I think the Biden family gets a much easier run than the Trump family would, for instance. You know, I mean, despite all of the accusations levelled at Trump for years, the investigations and so forth, really very little of it has stuck. I mean, maybe something will now, but very little of it has stuck. And yet there are all these questions about the Biden family, including Hunter Biden's artwork. I mean, the buyers who are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for his so-called paintings. We don't know who they are. The gallery won't release the names. I mean, it's very possible that is an avenue for influence peddling as well, if they're being purchased by people in China and so forth.